The Fool, as both the first and last card in the major arcana, represents the spiritual journey from inception to realisation. It hints to the reality that a path exists at all, along with an opportunity to increase in freedom and consciousness, should we so choose. As card 22, it signifies an ending, of returning home and knowing the place for the first time, whilst the sigil of 0 suggests beginnings as much as endings, of something coming from nothing, highlighting life's ever-present mystery and paradox. The Fool encourages us to leap forward into new phases of life, to be fearless, embrace individuation, and to come to know ourselves through exploration. In this active imagination exercise, we will go on a journey as the Fool, guided by our psychopomp companion, delving into the themes of freedom and individuation, and discovering more of ourselves along the way. So once you're comfortable, close your eyes, and taking a couple of deep breaths. As your breath returns to a natural rhythm, just reflect on what it feels like to breathe. And interestingly, the word fool could also be related to follis, which means windbag or bellows, and connotes the breath. Just as the Fool is the first card of the tarot, the first letter of Hebrew is Aleph, from which we get the word alive. The one thing you can certainly say about the Fool is that he is alive. So just focus on the breath. Breath that is giving you life. What does it feel like to breathe? Any time the attention wanders, just bring it back to whatever it is you're doing as part of this exercise. And now we're going to bring our minds to the imagination. So begin just by imagining yourself at the starting point of a path. It represents your current journey in life. Take some time to examine this space. Do you see any salient features? What's around you? Perhaps some natural features. Whether landscape, vegetation, perhaps any creatures. Maybe there's man-made structures, some kind. Notice the appearance of the path itself. Is it smooth, rugged? Is it natural or constructed? As you stand here, a figure begins to emerge in this space. This is your psychopomp, a being who embodies the qualities of the Fool. Freedom, spontaneity, and wisdom that comes from embracing the unknown. Just allow this figure to form in your mind. Do they appear as a person? Or perhaps some kind of creature or mythical being? If a real living person should appear, then just ask it to change to something more symbolic. And just take a closer look at them. Noticing not just their attire and their appearance, but also their demeanour and how you feel around them. How do you feel about the prospect of being led into the unknown by this being? The figure now invites you to proceed along this path into the unknown. As you travel along this path, see the landscape change around you. Take note of any new features that might appear. Do you see changes in the landscape? sky, the earth. Are there any symbols that appear along the way? How do you feel having journeyed into this unknown place? Perhaps all this can tell you something about your attitude to change and embracing freedom. Continue to walk along this path some more. Does it continue to change significantly? How does your companion behave in this place? And now, you encounter some kind of counterforce. Something that appears to challenge your freedom. Feels like it's been waiting for you on this path. In what form does this challenge appear? Is it some kind of natural phenomenon? Is it the actions of other free beings using their freedom to negate their freedom and impede upon your own? Is it something clearly self-imposed? Is there some darker part of your own mind presenting itself as a counterforce? How do you overcome this challenge? Do you need to have a conversation with someone, something? Or find some physical solution? Whatever you do, ensure to uphold your ethical stance towards this challenge. Recognizing that it is part of you. Your companion cannot go through this challenge for you. However, you can also try asking them for guidance. So, whether this challenge feels entirely resolved, no problem either way, you can always continue to work on it at a later time. Continue along this path now. See if anything around you has changed again. You reach a clearing along the path, where you stop and enter a conversation with your companion. You're first going to ask them a series of questions. And as you do, just state each question to your companion and see how they respond. Their response may come in the form of words or actions. Either way, just allow them to respond however they need to, without trying to edit or control it in any way. Ask the figure, what do the landscape and symbols I've encountered reveal to me about my current state of being and my readiness for change? How does the challenge I encountered reflect my fears or doubts? And what can I learn from confronting it? What explored aspects of myself am I discovering as I embrace freedom? And what guidance can you offer me to navigate the uncertainties that lie ahead? So, having asked these questions and paid attention to their response, you're now going to engage in a free-form, two-way dialogue with your companion. Use this time to deepen your relationship with this part of the unconscious. Recognize that it's there to help you, whether or not its suggestions and influence feels positive. And likewise, be willing to help it understand its needs and why it's doing what it's doing. You can use this time to ask any questions that haven't yet been asked around your own journey towards freedom and what needs to happen on your spiritual path. So take the next minute or two to engage in an open conversation with your companion. And so, as this conversation draws to a close, you're going to take some more time just to meditate in this space alongside your companion. So imagine yourself setting up, perhaps taking a seat or lying down in the position as you are doing physically. Just let go of the imagination for now. And just as you did at the start of this exercise, bring your attention to the breath. Hold your attention there. And anytime the mind wanders, just bring the attention back to the breath. Just continue in this way. Anytime the mind wanders, whether it's thoughts or imagery, feelings, just gently bring it back to the sensation of the breath. Do that now for the next minute or two. And now, just allow yourself to re-enter the imaginary space You find yourself back where you were, in this clearing, with your companion. Just notice if anything seems clearer now. Take another look at the space around you and your companion. And notice if anything has changed. You're going to have a moment of reflection now with your companion. Again, just engage in a dialogue with them, both sharing anything that's come up or asking any further questions you need to ask. Just be open to any insights appearing. So take this time now to engage in a final dialogue with your guide. So just thanking the guide now for their wisdom and guidance. You can always repeat this exercise or continue your interactions with this figure in unguided active imagination sessions. So just allowing the scene to fade now. Bringing your attention back to the physical space around you. Just noticing whatever comes up. Perhaps physical sensations or sounds. Taking a deep breath. And in your own time, opening your eyes again.